Yo, what's good? It's your boy Coach Carl. Mr. 56 is the new 26. And what y'all see me doing now is tying up my hoodie. I just placed some 3-pound weights on the ground in front of me. And my cone, I'm going to use my cone as my body to step around. And I'm about to get ready to get to work, man. I'm about to show y'all a couple of different techniques in the midst of doing 10 minutes worth of shadowboxing. I'm going to go between the 3-pound weights and no weights in hand. At one point, I'm going to do some step around, and whatnot. But right now, I'm just punching these weights out is how you build those muscles in those arms. Y'all always asking me about how to build muscles so that you can punch with, punching power. The way you do it is you got to work for it. Ain't nothing going to come easy. You got to be out there and you got to be moving, shaking and moving with the weights in your hand. Just turning different angles and throwing long punches and throwing short punches, throwing uppercuts, everything. You build with those weights in your hand. People sometimes see me on a heavy bag, and on the heavy bag I have on bag gloves. And they ask me the question like, why not 16-ounce gloves? Well, you doing different things for different reasons at different times, for different reasons. So when I got on 16-ounce gloves, I'm working on one thing. When I got on bag gloves, I'm working on something else. The bag should be used to use the muscles that you've built to kind of put yourself in position to throw certain punches, to make sure that a certain punch that you throw, you can throw hard without hurting your hands, without hurting your shoulders, that you doing the complete twist of your hips and your feet and different things of that nature. Sometimes I use a heavy bag because I'm trying to build up the strength in my hands, just like in the martial arts in China and Japan, they punch the sand a lot. And people say, well, why would you do that? Because they're building up the cartilages and the tendons in their hands to make their hands stronger. Well, the same concept applies when you're hitting a bag. You're not always hitting the bag to see how hard you can hit it. You're hitting it to build up certain things. You're building up the strength in your shoulders. You're building up the ability to twist your hip. You're building up the strength in your hands so that you don't have brittle hands, so that when you hit something, you don't break your hand or break your wrist or strain your arm. And that's what I use a heavy bag for. So every time I'm on a heavy bag, I don't have to have on 16-ounce gloves for the weight or for the padding in my hands. I'm using those 16-ounce gloves at that time for something different. Or I'm using those 8-ounce bag gloves or those 4-ounce bag gloves for something different. Like right now, you see me punching with 3-pound weights in my hand. So that's the level of being able to punch something and my arms are tired, or punch something and my muscles are stronger. So if you understand that concept, then we on the same page. I'm always training to build. I'm never training just to be training. I'm training to build. So if I go running and I run 1 mile today at 8 minutes, tomorrow I want to run it at 7:59. I'm always building from where I'm at, because I know that I'm trying to get to a different level. I don't know what level I'm trying to get to, but whatever that level that is, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real amazing to be there. But I like to be out. Right now, as you can tell, you can't see the sunlight because there is no sunlight. It is 4:30 in the morning when I go for these runs, and I get up at about 2:45, sometimes 2, but most of the time 2:45. And I work out from 2:45 till about maybe 10 after 4. Then I run, and then I end up behind the grocery store, and I like it because of the lights. And it's so many lights back there, it's like a football field. And you go out there, and you pull your accoutrements out your backpack, and you start working. And then when you're done working, you walk around the front to the grocery store, you get what you're going to get for the day, and then you come on to the crib. I could buy groceries like most people and buy all my groceries at one time and have 2 weeks worth of groceries in the house. But instead, I buy 2 days worth of groceries. The reason why I do that is because it forces me to run and go to the store in the morning to get my groceries for the day. So I can have the right amount of protein. I can have the right amount of protein bars. I can have the right amount of salad. Like this morning, I bought some romaine lettuce and some plant-based dressing and a cucumber and a tomato. Instead of buying 2 cucumbers, 2 tomatoes, and 2 things of dressing and 2 bags of croutons, I buy 1 of each. So I'll only have enough to make 2 meals or 2 days worth of meals. And then I definitely got to go back to the store. That forces me to run. I have a psychology that I follow, which basically says that if I put myself in a position that I need something, I can't go without it, then I have to do what it is to get it. So in other words, I could buy enough stuff to not have to go to the grocery store, but then I won't have to go to the grocery store, which means I won't have to run. So then I can not run that day because I don't have anything else to do to compound with that run. So it makes me run because I don't have my accoutrements. If that makes sense to y'all, it makes sense to me. I come up with these crazy scenarios all the time. I turn the camera on when I work out all the time because the camera's like y'all watching me. It doesn't allow me to cheat. And here you see me without the 3-pound weights in my hand because I'm continuing to train. I like to build and I like to work on certain things. And as you can see, a lot of times when y'all see me doing my shadowboxing routines, you see me changing angles and throwing punches and moving and stepping and holding my hands high and turning and throwing hooks because that's how you perfect something. You know, the thing about America, the martial arts system, we can go into a martial arts studio, a karate studio, and we can pay for a 2-year contract. And in 2 years, I'll be a brown belt or a black belt. I don't know how you can do that without putting the work in. But overseas, they don't rush to the black belt. You can be a white belt for a year because you are perfecting the art. In America, we're not trying to perfect it. We're just trying to learn it. And what I do with the art is I like to perfect it. I don't just want to learn the boxing technique. I like to perfect it. So I want to know that at any given moment when I step to the left, bop, bop, bop. When I step to the right, bop, bop, bop. I know that it's going to work out that way. So if I get hit with a shot and I'm delusional because the guy caught me with a good shot, I'm going to turn out anyway, bop, 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 and I'm still going to throw those same shots because those shots are now rudimentary. They are built in. So that's why sometimes y'all see me doing the same thing over and over because I'm perfecting it, because it's not perfected. And I'm about perfection. I'm about learning something from A to Z. And I treat boxing like an art. My boxing gym used to be called the Art of Boxing, and it was called that for a reason because I taught boxing like an art. Like you step this way, you throw this. You step that way, you throw this. Oh yeah, you can always improvise from the original moves, but you must know the original moves in order to improvise. So now I got the weights back in my hand because I'm still building. I'm trying to build some more muscles in certain punches. Certain punches you throw like uppercuts and hooks and you got weights in your hand, your body gets used to what it feels like to throw that uppercut or that hook with that weight. So you building that muscle. I'm building that uppercut muscle. I'm building that hook muscle. And I'm learning how to hold them hands up by turning them corners. I am not by any means perfect. And I don't think anybody is. But the whole thing is you learn to be perfect enough to get your shots off. Boxing is not a sport that you're going to jump into and you're not going to get hit. You're going to get hit, but the question is not whether you're going to get hit. It's what you're going to do after you get hit. So I train all the time. I train, if y'all don't know, I train 3 times a day, 7 days a week. I've been telling y'all that's how I got to this stage. Oh, I remember when I first started and I was running like 10-minute miles. Now I'm running 7-minute miles. I remember when I couldn't hold them threes and punch for 3 minutes, and now I'm punching for 10 minutes. It's a process. And you had to start at the beginning to get to where I'm at right now. There ain't no cutting the line. Because if you cut the line and you shortcut, you do half work, you're going to get halfway. Y'all understand the deal. So what we're doing right now, we're just putting in work. But once again, I'd like to thank y'all for taking the time out to log into my page and see what all the fuss is about. You know, this is your boy, Coach Carl. Y'all know me. I'm Mr. 56 is the new 26. And why do I call myself that? Because I'm trying to do what the 26-year-old boys do, not what the 56-year-old boys are doing. I ain't gonna be sitting around the house combing out my gray beard. Nah, I'm cutting that gray beard off and I'm going out here and go to work. I'm gonna run this body until this body no longer is here. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, once again, I appreciate y'all taking the time out. Make sure you subscribe to my page. Make sure you like the videos and comment if you can. And you know, let's keep this ball rolling. And I hope at 4:30 tomorrow morning, I'm gonna see somebody else out there at the grocery store doing some shadowboxing and trying to get their skills together. But I ain't gotta go home, but I gotta get out of here. So holler at your boy on the flip side. I'm out.